Kamusta? Okay naman.
Kaya, lumay lang rin.
Maraming balita.
Oh, balita ko.
Ano?
Balita ko, Fred. Mag-anniversary na kayo.
Ay, talaga. Anniversary namin ngayon. Ano bang malapit ngayon na?
Ngayon na?
Oo, ngayon na. Oo.
Pre, mukhang ready ka. Pit ka.
Siyempre. Sinasapapayat ka na to lang. Para saan ka nga yan? Hindi nga pumapayat ako.
Mukuli ka na ito na.
Hindi na ako. Tagal na.
Uy, girl! Happy anniversary sa inyo! Uy, girl! Ano kayo susurprise sa atin, ah? Okay, girl! Nahihilo ako sa inyo. Bakit? Ano ba magbubukuha naman kayo? Oh my God, share eyes.
Ano ba yan? Sorry naman. Hi, Dave! Hi! Pasok na ba tayo?
Ay, papasok tayo.
Saan tayo mamaya? Saan tayo kakain?
Ay, naku. Hindi ako may ginagawa.
Saan nga tayo? Saan nga gusto kumain?
Mamaya na lang. May ginagawa na ako.
Grabe naman. Sige na nga. Basta kaya paglaruan.
Okay, class. Good afternoon. Meron lang ako i-announce sa klase. I'm a bit disappointed sa nangyari. Pero may isa sa inyo na hindi ko. At hindi makakarating yung third year ko next semester. At ikaw yun, Mr. Lindong dati. Kasi susunod, pagbutihan mo pa, ha? Okay. You may go now, class. Hindi mo kami
Pre. Okay lang yan. Wala yung laban, pre. Kaya mo.
Hindi bali, basta na Jessica rin. Nakayanin ko to. Ha?
Dapat mo malaman na meron ako.
Sino?
Tulog mo ako, pigilan! Okay na yan, pre. Okay na yan. Marami dyan.
혹시나 무엇이는네 무엇이네 부치객 애개객
Sama?
Kapasal mo yun.
Pansin mo ba? Parang hindi na pumapasok si Dingdong. Alam mo nga, matagal ko na rin napapansin yan. Ano na nga po si Dingdong? Patapos ng semestre ah. Oo nga. Tara, sabi natin kay Karin. Karin? Balita ka pa kay Dingdong?
Ma?
Hindi,
Well, dito tayo na balik dito. Tingin mo, gusto mo, punta natin si Dingdong ngayon? Tara, let's go. Pre, ito ba yung bahay ni Dingdong? Hindi yan yun. Saan ba? Ayan, pre. Ay, ito. Dingdong's residence, no? Wala ba yun? Opo! Eh, pre! Boses ni Dingdong yun, di ba? Kaya nga, hindi ako pwede magkamali sa Dingdong yan. Dingdong! Lumabas ka na dyan! Pre, kausapan natin to. Ay, kuya, pwede po mong ako sa si Dingdong?
Pare, ako na to.
Ano?
Si Dingdong.
Dingdong! Ano nangyayari sa'yo? Hindi ko kami niloloko, sir. Look. Sige na. Basta ka na. Hanapin mo. Hanapin mo.
Pare ako to.
Ay, kuya.
Hindi na kaya mabuhay pa.
Kuya, ding-dong po. Ding-dong po. Mataba po yun. Maputi.
Ako na nga to.
Ay, pag-boses eh. Sa yung kanimi. Makakatag-prep pa rin naman.
Ay, kumain ka to. Hindi ako kumain ng isang buwan.
Pre, seryoso? Ano nangyari sa'yo, pre?
Pare, tapos ang lahat ng nangyari sa akin, pare.
Pre,
Pare, hindi ko na kaya
ako na yun. Hindi natin eh. Pre, pero, sabihin natin sa mga specialist ang nagkakilala ako. Tol, consult ka, matulungan ka namin.
Pare, huwag na yun.
Pre, sama na yan. Lain natin to, pre.
Tayo na clinic.
Okay lang yan, pre. Pre, ko lang sa labas, ha? Okay lang yan, pre. Ay, morning to now. Si Ding Dong Dantes to, mga kaibigan ko po magpapabusok po siya. Pinagdadaanan po siya.
Tuloy po yung problema ko eh. Iniwan po ako ng gulang ko. Tapos, pati girlfriend ko, iniwan din po ako. Pati rin yung kapatid ko.
Parang madami ako pinagdadaanan.
Oo nga to eh. Hindi ko lang eh.
Wala yan, pre. Okay lang yan.
Tingin ko, masyado ka lang na-stress at nadidepress. Ibibigay ang gamot, inumin mo siya sa loob ng isang buwan, balik ka na lang pagkatapos. Antidepressant, good for 1 year.
Salamat po, Dok.
Slides will be discussing the mechanism of action of selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, or SSRIs. This presentation can be divided into 3 sections. The first section is a brief overview of the monoamine theory of depression and its limitations. The second section discusses the effects of 5-HT1A receptor downregulation on the mechanism of action of SSRIs. And the third section presents recent findings on the role of BDNF in depression. What does the monoamine theory of depression hold? This theory postulates that depression might be caused by a decrease in serotonergic and noradrenergic neurotransmission. SSRIs are pharmacologically active at their molecular and cellular sites of action almost immediately. If the reuptake of serotonin or norepinephrine is blocked, this causes an increase in neurotransmitter availability at the synaptic cleft. However, here comes the fact that poses a big limitation for the monoamine theory of depression. Antidepressant effects are generally not seen until 2 to 4 weeks of continuous treatment. So the question is, how can we explain this discrepancy between immediate inhibition of serotonin reuptake and clinical effects? In the next slides, we'll explore the hypothesis that might explain the delayed therapeutic effect of antidepressants. Now we will discuss the role of 5-HT1A receptor downregulation in the mechanism of action of SSRIs. We'll begin by introducing some relevant features before starting with the effects of SSRIs. This image shows a serotonergic neuron. We can see the somatodendritic region, the axon, and the presynaptic terminal. Here is also depicted a postsynaptic neuron that is stimulated by the serotonergic neuron. The next element we need to integrate for a better understanding is the 5-HT1A receptor. There are 14 subtypes of serotonin receptors. The 5-HT1A is one of them. When this receptor is stimulated, it inhibits firing of serotonergic neurons. This means that it works as an autoreceptor that inhibits serotonergic activity. Here, 5-HT1A receptors are expressed in the somatodendritic region of a serotonergic neuron. This picture is a schematic representation that emphasizes the role of 5-HT1A receptors as inhibitory autoreceptors. The serotonin transporter SIRT is a monoamine transporter protein. This is a membrane protein that transports serotonin from synaptic spaces into presynaptic neurons. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors and other antidepressants block the SIRT transporter. The result is an increased availability of serotonin in the synaptic space. If we compare this image with the previous illustration showing the somatodendritic region, the difference is that you can see an increase of serotonin concentration. This has implications in terms of regulation of 5-HT1A receptors. This step is key in our explanation. Why? Here we can see the effects of increased serotonin concentrations. If you pay attention, there is an important difference with the previous slide. There are less 5-HT1A receptors. This means that 5-HT1A receptors are downregulated. As a response to serotonin stimulation, the serotonergic neuron reduces the number of 5-HT1A receptors. This phenomenon is known as downregulation. Since downregulation is mediated by genomic mechanisms, the reduction of 5-HT1A receptors is not immediate. This occurs in weeks. This has been proposed as a possible explanation of antidepressants' delay in therapeutic effects. Now we can see the effects of 5-HT1A downregulation on the serotonergic neuron. Here the focus is not on the somatodendritic region, but on the entire neuron. Since there are less 5-HT1A receptors expressed in the somatodendritic region, the neuron is now disinhibited. As a consequence, firing rate is increased. This in turn increases serotonin release to the synaptic space, which stimulates postsynaptic serotonin receptors. In summary, inhibition of serotonin reuptake increases serotonin concentration, which causes a downregulation of 5-HT1A receptors. After the number of 5-HT1A receptors is reduced, the neuron is disinhibited to release more serotonin in the synaptic space. In the last section, we'll review recent findings on the role of BDNF in depression. The neurotrophic hypothesis of depression proposes that depression is associated with reduced BDNF levels in the hippocampus. So antidepressant treatments alleviate depressive symptoms and increase BDNF levels. This diagram shows a model that overlaps degree of impairment of neuronal plasticity with clinical severity of depression. According to this paper by Lee and colleagues, suicide behavior can be a consequence of very severely impaired neuronal plasticity. Antidepressant treatments promote several forms of neuronal plasticity, including BDNF activity, which can develop antidepressant response. It has been proposed that neuronal plastic change can recover depressed mood.
Hey boy! I'm back! Uy! Ding dong! Yo! Siyempre naman, kasi okay na eh. Okay na ako. Move on na to? Move on na! Matatag na to, bro!
May recommend ako sa'yo.
Ano?
Saka na ba?
Saan? Saan ba? Ano nga yun? Gusto mo nga Ganda nga palagay.